Well, today, consideration one of the great saints of all time. Good to be here in Zaki, Biam. You said, okay. And the name is Joseph, Saint Joseph. You know that Joseph was very quiet. And Joseph, though he was very quiet, he would say some words, but no one really remembers anything that he said. Because Joseph was the greatest of men. And men are remembered not by all the words they say, but by the things they do. And our Lord and Saint Joseph protected Christ. Remember, our Lord lived 33 years on this earth. But 30 of them he lived with Saint Joseph. And so Saint Joseph must be very important. To understand Saint Joseph, we go back to the Old Testament. To the Joseph of the Old Testament. Joseph of the Old Testament tells us about the heart and spirit and way of Saint Joseph. The first thing we know about Joseph of the Old Testament is what made him different from everyone else is that he was a dreamer who believed in dreams. He had great dreams. His dreams changed the whole world. In fact, it was the dreams of Joseph that saved not only the Jews, but also the Egyptians and all people. One of the great terrible things of our times is people don't understand dreams anymore. People have very small dreams. You ask a young boy, what do you want to be when you become an adult? What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a millionaire. So you get to be a millionaire. What happens to all your millions of dollars? You spend them on sin, on partying, and on big houses. And then one day you die. And what happens? Somebody else gets your stuff. There was a very rich man in America, a multimillionaire, who loved his fancy car. He had a big limousine as big as this house. And you know they say when you die, whatever you have, you cannot take with you. It remains behind. And he said, that's not going to happen to me. So he died. And because he was very rich, he said, I will not be buried in a coffin. I will be buried in my big limousine. So they put him in a chauffeur's suit and put him in the front seat, his dead body.
Na vakwe ye hu an kuti assembly to ni vecha a me driver ka te mana hala.
And they dug a huge hole in the cemetery.
Na ji ti mo kokko wa she moto na ka to yon she me.
And they drove his dead body in his car into the hole.
Na ma tu moto ne te le yon la me she yon gwana.
And then they covered it with dirt.
Na mo kula nya chi.
And then they put a tombstone on the top that said, "And they said I couldn't take it with me."
Na ko ma bunge kwa me fe jawana ne kai. Bai kai me fato to aka mamlo ma ne yim na me che ne me pega.
That was his dream.
Ba ho ya lu nya na ma shima na very dangerous.
But if you go to Las Vegas, Nevada, where his car is,
Ba lu ko za e pe una yuma na do ayen la ya. Umana na do ayen awudu.
you dig out all the dirt.
Malu so do na do moto la pa agba pe kai hindu inyala agba po o ti me be o shura ninga moto shura.
And you take his bones and you throw them aside.
Uda ase je pe lu le a hegenu na ho a shi kula yu ha kala.
Sit in the limousine and try to turn the car on.
O ka lu nyo shi mi o na ha moto la pa we kwa mo le we ge.
It won't work.
Kwa mo makala she moto la na ta shi me pe ya moto la yu na pa shona sa shi.
The car is all rotted.
O pa shi yu was ni akala lu pe ga.
And the man is now in hell.
Na when yu na lu shin ga.
The car is 6 feet below the surface of the earth.
Moto la yu wa hinya yen shi mi kumangala trata.
Well, 2 meters below the surface of the earth. You say meters or feet? Which one do you?
It's feet.
Feet. You have 6 feet. 6 feet under the earth. But his soul is in hell 8,000 miles in the center of the earth.
Moto langu zinya ai inyi moto la zinya kumangala trata kwa uma na ya gumangwa kuma anga hadubu deli anieni shina to gawo.
This is what happens when you dream about being a millionaire.
Ka ko ka za ha mention ulu ne shima wo ba gande ulu zege o jela.
They have a saying in Ireland.
Ko ga ba kita ba to ka ka
Wherever there's a will, there's relatives.
Ha ma shima vele nu ulu emi ya ngia wan bane.
Yeah. So we say you have a strong will, and you have a will that says, I'm going to give my things to my son and to my body, etc.
O alu na ve na kai mo shima vele ya ya so mo chi vele pe ya me na ha me lu ka kpisi ya shulu wa shima vele pa we shenu chi vo pe ya o na ngune heavy ma via sa chu akala de sa shega ya.
If you are poor, very few people go to your funeral. Because you only have a little bit of stuff. But if you are rich, very many people go to your funeral. Because you got a lot of stuff. They don't care about you. Only about your things. In America, we have old folks' homes. One of my grandmothers died in one of those homes. There are 90-year-old women that can't walk. They have canes and they have oxygen in their nose. They can't climb stairs. They're very sick. But many of these old people live in the same complex, apartment, 1, 2, 3, 4, in the same building.
Yes. Na imanza yana na hai hamba yo abena yo na ke ba go era ve ya chana ve onde ve ve ji mo ve chi lu from.
So my grandma died.
Na ngona pa yanga luhimba yana na hak.
And a 90-year-old lady with oxygen and can't walk and a cane came into her room.
Be yo je town do na do me chi ding on na
And another 90-year-old lady that couldn't walk came in the room. And they said, Helen would want me to have this couch.
A
big, heavy couch.
aka on lo mi un ne ba na alu ve hayo na jinjin je pa ya.
So one 90-year-old woman that couldn't walk got on one side, picked up the couch. And the other 90-year-old woman that in a wheelchair got out of her wheelchair and picked it up. And they carried it all the way down to the other side of the room to their place.
Ba ve ka ba ka ma ve ka be yo ve ti ve ba pe he ma ngunu va ne pe die ve do ne lu he na ha ma ve ka be yo ai na ve lu he ne o pe ne lo ha wan ba no ge ne kwa be yo le we ya mo se ko kwa ni kan bi ngi kya hi gen se ko sa ve pe gen ade ba ho ma se ga na mo wa ve ko won na ne.
The other old ladies came in and they stole everything except the body.
Ve to won na ye bla ve ki yo li gen e che blu ya cha na mi ko da ve na ji la gen ya yo ba gen da va va nyo ke ji me yi ka ya ge vu wu lu he ne.
Then the next week, 1 week later, they died.
Ba zo na kwa ga kwa ya pa yo bla to aka ya ma kwa yo bla to vu ka zo kwa ga yo la di ka na mo ya wo ho ambra chi chi vu pe.
They die on the couch.
Ve ka vu pe yo la.
Another old lady came in. She wants me to have this.
Na ngo ko zo gene di walu ha flush un pa ka lo yo ve la ga ya ba ma no ne nge mu ne akpa ya ke o ngu mba ne pa vu pe na ha sa chu aka ha ve ne ya hingla na ma kura.
Every one of those old ladies is now dead. All of them.
Kamba se jime ya ba ya lu ve la chi vu pe mo ngula na pe ba gen va to ngula na pe ba gen va to vu pe he chi chi.
The couch and the chairs are in the garbage heap. Trash heap.
Aka tuma ugambe ma hama ko ya lu mi chi bangu heta.
So they're not valuable anymore.
Aka la nga yo sa jama kwa monga.
The problem of modern man is he dreams about the wrong things.
Za yo waso yo li gen ya a shimaki venance shimaki harness shimaki kindness ya a gbin na ka te.
But Saint Joseph dreams about heaven.
Ba o jiji yo se ya ya shimada venance ta to sha.
And dreams about the things that save us.
Ma shi venance ma sha ka waso ma ya.
And dreams about preparing for the future.
Ma shi venance ma sha chu wan yo kan ko na ba ba kan ma ya.
Saint Joseph of the Old Testament, he had a dream about 7 years of starvation, 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine.
Yo se o ke tele zo etela on pa yange shimana chi lu vele cha ko na baba ka hema ya na ha nwa nya ma chi ema anyo matankala ha jene egba shi anyo matankala ha kwa yana dumbu shi anyo matankala ha jene egba yo.
Actually, St. Joseph didn't have the dream. The king of Egypt, the Pharaoh, had the dream, and he did not understand it.
Yelu we yo na nyama ma chi on ga yamla chi faro to lu give it na ha ye ba pona zono da pass.
And he asked St. Joseph of the Old Testament to explain his dream.
Yela yo se ku tele zo tele aba pass on nyama.
And he explained the dream.
Yana zara pass on.
And the king Pharaoh was very wise.
To faro yang bu se kushia.
And he said, since you can understand the dream, Joseph, no one can prepare better for the famine than you.
Aka yo se you for your person nyama ya o momo pa na kala fatio vele shi ma shi ko kwa yana yo pasan nyama assembly na ha ne ga na ha we ko kwa yana yo.
And King Pharaoh made Joseph the number 2 man in his kingdom. Only Pharaoh was above him.
Na ha ma faro ma ve yo se lu chilin kana kita to lu ba giviti.
So also amongst the great saints in heaven, and there are many wonderful saints.
Amongst
the great saints in heaven, the greatest is Saint Joseph. He is the number 2 in heaven after the Blessed Virgin Mary. And Joseph will teach us how to have the right kind of dreams in this life. There are 2 problems with wanting to be famous and to be a millionaire.
The
first problem is most who have these dreams are losers.
ko akli yo ke ya ma velen shi ma ma zetira chi ko zaza ti pa ki luti wasen kwa mo
And they will never be famous and never become a millionaire.
ma ka halan shi ma sha kwa ne ya shi ma be chi halan la ki ko ba ya kunya ro ka to na be
So they have a dream that they will never fulfill.
na ko lu shi ma velen ke ni be fa to be ya he ga ya
And they are miserable in life, always seeking more.
na ha be hingi yo ba kwa kuma sho kelen ha ma shi yo kelen ko la fa to wa shi ma te ma nya ga
But then there's a second problem.
ko gano sho wa ya
Those who dream to be millionaires and famous and actually become millionaires and actually become famous.
yo ba ke so sa be lu nya le ken ya pi shi ka be va lu nya le kila
They all turn towards suicide.
ba ke ma se ji me ya pi shi ka be no ko pu wa na yo ve
They all have broken marriages.
pi shi ka be pa ye se
They all have to take medications to stop their depression.
pi shi ka be mena ne chi bin sha ha ma shi en chi ba gana ya kiru shi ke shi mai zan ve yo lo shi ka wan ba zan ve yo lo mena chi sha ha ma shi chi ja ju shi ma be ren to ni mu menga
And no matter how famous they become, they want to be more famous. No matter how rich they become, they want to become more rich.
na ha shi ma be lu sha ve va lu a zega ka ya ka ba lu nya le nan na ko mo nya le ki kuma na ga
And they often lose their wealth and their fame before they die.
ga ma se ji me ya ka ma se ba aka vu lu me la chi ka ba aba sa shi chi ve ma se kuma
And they die forgotten.
ba ga ya ka bu tere di do je chi be pe hu
And then they go to hell.
ma se ji me ya ma shi bi yen ja
So if they get their dream, they are miserable. And if they don't achieve their dream, they are miserable.
ka ba lu ka ba zwa sha le ve so ve zwa mi ko ma la pa i lu ve wa se ga ka ba zwa mi ga pa ma ve yo ve ba lu ve wa se ga
In fact, they're less miserable if they fail in their dream. They're more miserable if they get their dream.
humba wa se no shi ma ve veren kan ya la ve zwa mi ga a ve zwa mi la ga ka ba zwa mi ba ba mu ga ba zwa mi ga pa che mangu ga
They had the wrong dream.
na nya ve ma chi shi ma ve veren kan chi ki lu wa se ga
We dream for heaven.
ko ma se veren shi ma cha mi ya ka ta tu cha
We dream to have all our desires fulfilled and to be happy forever.
mai do ha ma shi ya ma su veren shi ma se ha ma shi chi ya ha ma shi na ra ira si chi ya ma su ku ji li do
And we believe in the dreams that God gave us in the gospel.
na ha se veren shi ma se ken se veren shi ma shi to sha nya ma ora ve se an se ke biblo ta tu se veren shi ma sha me la
Saint Joseph will teach us how to have the right dreams, believe in the right dreams, and follow the right dreams.
yo se se veren shi ma sha nya ma dito se kolon ga sha nya ma dito shi se ele kwa sha nya ma dito ma se mu ku se kala bangela
Also, Saint Joseph will make sure that we never starve.
na ha ko na na se chai ma yange jini ko se da ya
And as we are going to the dream of heaven, he will make sure that we are cared for on this earth.
e sulu vena chi mama kolon ga sha gono tato ya un yo no na wa se chai se no go gbe ya
Just like Saint Joseph took care of our Lord Jesus Christ and the Blessed Virgin Mary for 30 years, and they never starved and they never had troubles as long as they were with him.
divo le o jiji yo so sulu mbe nyo na nya ne yange ya cha ve shi ma sha to wa se yesu kristo ma ngwana maria sa ve za na nyo kulu gbe wa momo za be yo ga na
Saint Joseph will protect us.
yo se shi na kula se
Love Saint Joseph and believe in his dreams.
so na un shi na na jiji klim ya na
He who is number 2 after Mary in the kingdom of heaven.
ga dia ngulu sho hwa sha tato ali du ngo wa se maria kula ya